A breakup can feel like an emotional earthquake. One moment, everything seems stable, a life built together, shared dreams, laughter, plans for the future. And the next, it all comes crashing down. The silence after the final goodbye, the ache in your chest, the obsessive thoughts, the replaying of memories and what-ifs. It all becomes a storm inside your mind. But imagine, for just a second, that you could step away from this chaos, not to escape it, but to face it with the wisdom of a man who once ruled an empire, not with an iron fist, but with an unshakable mind. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, endured immense personal loss. He buried 8 of his children. He lived through wars, plagues, betrayals. Yet in his darkest hours, he turned not to rage or despair, but inward into reflection, discipline, and resilience. He didn't write for the world. He wrote to himself. Meditations, his private journal, became a timeless guide for anyone who has ever suffered and asked, how do I carry on? So, what would Marcus Aurelius do in the aftermath of a breakup? Would he cry out to the heavens, blame fate, or drown in self-pity? No, he would do what he always did, accept what is, examine what can be controlled, and let go of the rest. He would remind himself, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. That's the cornerstone of Stoicism. Control what's yours, your thoughts, your actions, your responses, and surrender the rest without resentment. Your partner's decisions, their emotions, their leaving, those are not within your power. But how you rise from this, how you choose to grow, to transform your pain into perspective, that is entirely yours. Marcus would write, don't waste what's left of your life worrying about people who don't care about you. Harsh? No, it's liberating. It's a call to reclaim your energy, your time, your dignity, instead of replaying the past or fantasizing about closure. He would tell you to stand tall in the present moment, to remind yourself that your worth is not defined by who stays or who leaves, but by how you carry yourself when everything else falls apart. He'd say, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Your heartbreak? That's not a dead end. It's the path. It's the very fire that will forge your stronger self. If you allow it, the Stoics believe that adversity is not something to be feared but embraced. It's the universe handing you a challenge to grow, to evolve, to detach from illusion. That relationship? Maybe it wasn't love. Maybe it was attachment. Maybe it was comfort. Maybe it served a purpose. And now that purpose is complete. Stoicism asks you not to label as good or bad, success or failure, but simply what is. Marcus didn't ask life to be easier. He asked himself to be better. In the ruins of heartbreak, he would begin the rebuilding, not of the relationship, but of the self. He would rise early. He would write. He would walk. He would breathe. He would serve others. He would return to the present. Because pain, he knew, was temporary, but character was eternal. He would say, the best revenge is to be unlike the one who caused the injury. So don't chase. Don't beg. Don't try to win someone back who chose to walk away. Let them go, not with bitterness, but with gratitude for the lessons. Love them still, but from a distance. Love them, not because they deserve it, but because it frees you. Marcus would urge you to practice a more fatty, the love of fate, to embrace every moment, even the painful ones, as necessary steps in your personal evolution. He'd ask you to zoom out, to realize how small this heartbreak is in the vastness of time, in the dance of stars, in the infinite turning of nature. He'd write, soon you will have forgotten all things. Soon all things will have forgotten you. That may sound bleak, but it's meant to liberate you. Nothing is permanent. Not pain, not memory, not even you. So why not live honorably, courageously, joyfully, despite it all? Why not use this heartbreak to become more conscious, more compassionate, more clear about what you want and what you'll never tolerate again? Why not sit with your suffering until it teaches you something beautiful? Marcus didn't numb his feelings. He observed them. He let them pass. He knew that clinging creates suffering. So let go, slowly, gently. Let go of needing answers. Let go of hoping they'll return. Let go of the idea that you can't live without them. Because you can, and not just live, you can thrive. You can become someone so grounded, so whole, so calm in your own presence that love becomes a bonus, not a necessity. That's what Marcus Aurelius would do. That's what he did every day of his life. So light a candle, write in your journal, go for a walk, read something that elevates your mind, sit in silence, breathe, heal, and when the thoughts return, as they will, thoughts of them, the memories, the ache, don't fight them, don't believe them, just observe, smile, say to yourself, ah, here comes a storm again, but I am the mountain. That's Stoicism, not coldness, but clarity, not detachment, but discipline, not indifference, but inner peace. And now, the question turns to you, not why did they leave, but who am I becoming because of it? Share your thoughts below. Your voice matters more than you realize. Your story, your healing, your resilience. Someone out there needs it, just like you needed Marcus. So what now? You felt the ache. You've walked through the fire. You faced the silence, the empty messages, the late-night thoughts that whispered you were not enough. And yet, here you are, breathing, reading, seeking. That alone is a kind of victory. Marcus would tell you, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. So what color will you choose now? Will you soak your soul in resentment, in what-ifs, in fantasies of reconciliation that never arrive? Or will you choose calm? Not because life is calm, but because you decided to be? This is your defining moment. This is the space between the storm and the sunrise. What you do here will echo for years. Will you sink, or will you stand not with rage, not with revenge, but with quiet, unshakable clarity? Because that's what true Stoics do. They don't scream into the void. They don't beg the world to be different. They learn to be still within it. This isn't about pretending it didn't hurt. It did. It does. But pain is not the enemy. Attachment is. When you let go of the illusion that someone else completes you, you begin to return to your original wholeness. You begin to see the end of that relationship wasn't the end of you. It was the beginning of your return to your strength, to your values, to your own inner empire. Because you too, like Marcus, are a ruler, not of nations, but of your own life, of your thoughts, of your spirit. So ask yourself now, what kind of ruler will you be? Will you govern yourself with anger and chaos, or with grace and discipline? Will you let heartbreak write your story? Or will you pick up the pen and write the next chapter yourself? A breakup is not a collapse. It's a redirection. It's life whispering. Not here. There's more waiting. You may not see it yet, but you will. The person who left was not your destiny. They were your mirror. They came to reveal the places within you that still needed light, truth, and healing. Now that they're gone, you get to do that work on your own. You get to become the version of yourself you once thought you needed someone else to complete. Marcus would urge you to become that person, not in spite of the heartbreak, but because of it. Because nothing builds a soul like loss accepted with wisdom. And when you do rise, and you will, it won't be in search of another person to fill the void. It will be in peace, in presence, in purpose. You will walk forward not as someone who was abandoned, but as someone who was reborn. So take one final breath. Thank the past, not because it was perfect, but because it was yours. Then release it, slowly, lovingly, firmly. You are not broken. You are becoming. And the world is waiting to meet the new you, the Stoic you, the version of you that Marcus Aurelius would smile upon and say, yes, that's the way.